Thanks for giving me the access. Once again, got it. Let me share my screen. I hope my screen is visible, right?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Now let me remove all these things. And today, what we are going to discuss, let's see one by one. And actually, what we have discussed yesterday is something called Docker Docker things. Actually, what is Docker host? Docker terminology we have seen, Docker architecture we have seen, and the creation of the AWS EC2 machines and key pairs, how to attach key pairs with the EC2 machines, and all the things we have seen. But today, what we are going to see, and we also seen some of the commands that we use with Docker. And what we are going to see is today we are going to see some of the Docker commands, the next level Docker commands, and we are going to do some of the use cases of the Docker, actually how to do port forwarding, how to check the logs, and how to do the some of the things we are going to see. If any debugging, if there any problem appears with your application which is present in the Docker container, how to solve that problem, how to find that there is a problem with the application, something like that we are going to see. So that are the things we are going to see today. Actually, let's see my Docker engine is working or not. Yeah, it is. My Docker engine is properly running and it has no problem. Now, let me go to my terminal before going further. Yeah, this is my terminal. Let me clear the screen. Now, what's the first use case of that? Wait, this, 1 second, please. 1 second. Yeah, what we are going to discuss is about a particular command known as, let me put that command here, docker run hyphen name is equal to test. Okay, hyphen d hyphen p it, or let me dare another port, 9090:80 nginx. So what is this hyphen p 9090:80? What is this means? Actually, that means a port forwarding. What is this mean? Actually, let me show you people in a diagrammatic manner. Actually, now first let me run this command and let me show what is the use of that command, and after that let me show the diagrammatic part. Now let me run the command first. Docker run hyphen name is equal to web app hyphen d hyphen p 9090:80 and the nginx. Actually, now let me run this command first. This is the image name that we call it as in this command. This is the port forwarding, we call it as. What is this? I'll tell you, but yeah, as of now this is a port forwarding. Now hyphen d means detached mode. Hyphen d represents the detached mode, and the hyphen name we are giving to the container is web app. Okay, run is the functionality you want to perform, and the Docker is the command line utility. Okay, yeah, hi Raj. This is my first lecture. As this is your first lecture, the videos, the recordings got uploaded to the YouTube playlist there in the Durgasoft channel. You can go ahead there and check that one. Okay, that's the thing. Now these are the things. Actually, now these are the command explanation that I have given. Now if you see Docker container ls, what is this command? Yesterday we have seen this is the command in order to list all the running containers. Here we have container id. This is a container id, and what is the image that we have used in order to run this container? That is nginx. And what is this command? The command which is running inside the container, I'll tell you as part of creating custom Docker images this about this command. And when it is created 53 seconds ago, what is the status is up and running. And this is the port forwarding that we did in this command. Here 9090, that is the 9090:80. Actually, that's a port forwarding. What is this? We'll discuss. Okay, this is the name of the container that we have given. This is the name of the container. So this is a thing. Actually, now what is this? Actually, what is this? Now let me go to my browser first. Let me go to my browser. Here. Now if you want to access this localhost colon 90909090. You can see you are able to access my Nginx application, which is running inside the container of my local host. Actually, this is the Docker host. Inside this container, my Nginx application is running. On that Nginx application, how I am able to access? Using 9090 port from my web browser. Actually, now how this will be able to accessible, how this is internally structured, let's discuss with the help of a diagram. Okay, with the help of a diagram. Now this is the paint I have painted. Now suppose it's a universal thing. Okay, now entire whatever the container you take, whatever the application you take, whatever the Docker image you take, each and every application which is running inside the Docker container will be running at particular port. Okay, at particular port. Okay, there will be a port range. I hope you some of people will know what's the port range. 0 to 65,565 is a port range that we have. So each and every container application in that it is running inside the container will be running on particular port. Actually, like that we have used Nginx image to run it as a container. That means the application which is running inside this Nginx container will be running on port number 80. That is not decided by us. That is not decided by us. That is decided by the people who created Nginx image. Actually, that the container port on which the application will be running is port number 80. Actually, that is, you need to understand that one first. Okay, each and every application inside the container will be running on particular port, and the Nginx application here will be running on port number 80, right? So that's what you need to understand before going to this. Okay, now here how this command, let me explain you the port forwarding. Now this is our Docker host. Okay, this is our Docker host. Okay, I need to select this. Okay, this is our Docker host. Okay, inside the Docker host we have, let me put it as Docker host so that people will not be able to confuse. Okay, Docker host, this is the Docker host. Inside the Docker host I have created a Nginx container. This is Nginx container in which our Nginx application will be running, in which our Nginx application will be running like this. Okay, it will be running, it will be in running state, and that Nginx application will be running on port number. What is the port number that Nginx application will be running on? Because Nginx application will be always running on port number 80. Okay, port number 80. Let me put that one here. This is a port number 80 on which Nginx application is running. This is the 80. Okay, now what is the meaning of hyphen P9090:80 represents the port of the container on which application is running. You are mapping to the port on the Docker host. This is a port on the Docker host you are mapping with. Okay, that is 9090. Okay, this is 9090. Now this mapping will be happened if you use hyphen P9090:80. Okay, if you use hyphen P9090:80, this mapping will be happened actually. So now when you request from your browser, suppose let's think this is your Chrome browser. This is your Chrome browser. Now what you typed in the Chrome browser, what we have typed, we have executed, like we have searched for localhost 9090. What we have searched? Local host colon localhost colon 9090. Okay, we have searched for that. Now as this Docker is running in my local machine, now what will happen when you search for this? Now your Chrome browser will be connecting to this port of the local host 9090. On this port 9090 is connected to the container port of 80. That is why you are able to view the application on your web browser named Nginx. Okay, that is the reason why you are able to view the application named Nginx on your web browser like this. Actually, this is the Nginx application that you are able to view here because of that reason. Okay, this is the reason Nginx that is why you are able to view this application using these port mappings actually. So this is why we need to use hyphen P9090:80. Any number, see this port, this 9090 can be any port in the range of 0 to 65,565. Okay, now but this port should be always same for the Nginx image, because Nginx image will be always be running on port number EIT, that is not going to be changed, because the port number EIT is the container port and the 9090 is the Docker host port. Okay, this port can be changed and this port you should not change. Always you should put in the 80 only 80, because if you use Nginx you should always put 80. But if you use Tomcat, the application of the Tomcat will be running on different port. Actually, if you want to use Tomcat, you need to use right side like this. At the place of EIT you need to use EIT, because Tomcat will be running on port number EIT. MySQL, if you use MySQL you should put 3306. Okay, because MySQL application will be running on port number 3306. Actually, like that, each and every application will be running on any particular port. That port number you should put at this point, actually right side, and this first port, like this is a Docker host port, that is your wish, what you want to keep, actually what you want to put. Okay, that's your choice. Actually, that is why you are able to access the application which is running inside the container from your web browser, that is -p 9090 colon EIT. Actually, so that's a explanation. So anyone have any questions regarding this, please? Anyone have any questions? Is that okay? Is that understood? -p 9090 colon EIT.
Yes.
Okay, is that understood? Put in chat yes, understood, or just
Sir, I have one question.
okay.
Here you have given 80, the port container, right?
Yeah.
For Nginx, it is, you said it is same all over. So
Yeah.
if it's a different container or if it's in a Kubernetes, and or will it get changed 80? Or
Yes,
will not? Let's
this is
say
going to be
80.
changed. Next scenario will be like that. If we are going to run another container named Tomcat, and the container port will be different here. Okay, here the Tomcat will be running on port number 8080, not the 80. Okay, so this will be changed here. This is 8080. We are the next scenario is that one 8080. Okay, so
No, yeah, what I meant is like another Nginx on the same different container. That
okay,
time 80
another
only.
Nginx, another Nginx. Okay, okay, that's a scenario. Okay, now let me remove this container. Okay, okay, if you want to use another Nginx, okay, Nginx, if you want to use Nginx, all the Nginx containers will be on port number 80 only. That will not be changed. This is same 80, but you cannot port forward on the same port. You cannot do this. You cannot do this like this. Okay, you need to port forward on the other port. Okay, like this. You need to create new port on the, like, new port should be used in order to port forward on the Docker host. The 80 will be same. This port will be same. This port will be 80 will be same. Okay, this is a 80 will be same, and this port will be different. Actually, you should use different port. Let me use 1010. Okay, so the two processes cannot be port forward onto the same port on the Docker host. So like that, actually the port like this you should use, actually. So that's the thing.
And the name you have given test, right? That will also be same or different?
Yeah. No, which name you mean to say? This one,
Docker
name of the thing, right? So the name will be different for different containers. You cannot create a the same containers with the same name. The different containers, actually different names you need to create for the different containers. Okay, is that okay? Hello, is that fine, or do you have any questions, please? Please
So
repeat.
how many such ports will be available?
Yeah, the port ranges will be 65,565. Let me put that port range here like this: 0 to 65,000 565. This is the port range for any machine. Okay, if you want to create any virtual machine or any Docker host or anything, this is the port ranges. You can take any number until and unless that number is used by another process inside that application, inside the Docker host. Okay, so that's a range of the port. Okay, that's a port range. Okay, is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if that is clear, let's go to further. Actually, let's go to further. Actually, now Let me go here and let me go to local machine. Yeah, this is the thing. Now, how to check the log of this container? Suppose this is your application, your Spring Boot application. Do not think as a NGX application. Let's think this is your Spring Boot application or .NET application, whatever it is, you execute it as a container. How to check the logs, whether the application logs are perfect or not? Go to copy the container ID. Now, how to check the logs? Docker logs and the container ID you need to give. You will be able to see the logs here. That means if everything is proper here, that means your application is properly working actually. So that's what the logs defines. So that's a logs you can see by using docker logs command. Okay, docker logs command. Now let me clear the screen. How now? And also you need to do first, you need to check the logs. Okay, docker container ls, this is a container that we have. If you want to see the detailed information of the container, let me copy this. Now docker inspect and the inspect inspect and the container id, you need to use this a container id. Okay, if you need to inspect this container, you will be seeing different information about the container actually, like when it is created, what is the id and what's the path. Like this is a command that is going to execute inside, what's the arguments, and this is detailed information about the container that you can see actually. The important thing here will be the ip address of the container. You can see the ip address of the container is 172.17.0.2 actually. So that is the ip address of the container actually. So that's a you can inspect here, you can just information about the content that will be showing actually. So that's a container, and that's a inspect actually. Let me clear the screen. Now if you see docker images, okay, if you see docker images, these are different images that are present on my local machine, okay, on my docker host actually. Now if you want to inspect this image also, you can do. Let me take this nginx and docker image inspect and the image name. Now you can also inspect any particular image, not only the container. The important thing is the layers section of that image. So people will be asking in the interviews, what is layers inside the image actually. Now we are going to discuss about the layers in the creating custom docker images. That will not be any problem. We are going to clearly discuss what is this layer, how this layer is created, so what's the difference between two different layers, something like that we are going to discuss, no problem at all. So that's the thing actually. Now let me clear the screen. You will be finding the detailed information of the image and the detailed information of the container using docker inspect commands. Okay, that's the ultimate thing that you need to understand. Now what we have used in the previous commands, let me go to the diagram and show you. Now we have used docker run hyphen name is equal to test hyphen d hyphen p 9090:80 nginx, right? But if you don't want to select any particular port like 9090, I don't want to select that, let's docker decide on which port that container should be port forwarded to. That is your requirement. How to satisfy that kind of requirement is something like this. Now let me run a new docker container. Let me go here and docker run hyphen I don't want to give name, let it allocate its own name, its own name actually. Now let me do hyphen d hyphen p, like hyphen capital P you need to use, because previously you decided that should be port forwarded to 9090 on my docker host. But you don't want to decide now, you leave that decision for the docker itself. You decide what the port on which you want to port forward to. That is why you need to use hyphen capital P. Hyphen capital P is meaning is that, okay. Now nginx is the image name. Now that is executed as a container. Now if you see docker container ls, if you see that a new container got created, and the port forwarded on which port this container got port forwarded, you can see it's created with a new name, other name. Now it is port forwarded to 32,777, okay, 771. Okay, that's a port forwarded that it got port forwarded to. You can see that 80 is not changed, because on the 80 port number only our nginx application will be running, and our docker host port got changed. This is the docker host port actually. Let me copy this docker host port. Let me go to the browser and let me search for localhost. Let me put that port here, 32,771. okay, you can also see the nginx application that is been running on that particular port. You can also you can also see here 9090 because the other container is running with 9090. You can see other container is running with 9090 and the other container, the new container is running with 32,771 actually. So that is how you need to use hyphen capital P. Hyphen capital P represents, let's Docker decide what port that it want to port forward to. That is hyphen capital P actually. Now that's the thing. Now what's the next thing that we need to see is about the other use case that we want to see. Docker run hyphen 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 name is equal to Tom. Okay, Tom hyphen D hyphen P and Tomcat I want to port forward. See, if I want to port forward to the same port number, okay, 9090, okay, I want to port forward to the same port number on which the Nginx also port forwarded. So you can see in the diagram, Nginx is using 9090 port of my Docker host. But if you want to run another container on the same port, you want to run another container on the same port. Now let me run that. What is the error you are going to get? Okay, Tomcat. Okay, these are Tomcat container. Okay, you are going to get an error. You can see error response from daemon, driver failed, programming in external connectivity on endpoint Tom, and this is a ID, and bind for 9094 failed actually. So port is already allocated to the different container. So that is why you cannot use the same port of the Docker host which is already running with the different processes. Okay, so you need to use different ports. Actually you are going to get an error if you use the same port. Let me use 9091. Okay, let me use 9091 and the Tomcat. Okay, let me click on enter. What is the error you are going to get? Yeah, Tom is already created, but let me delete that one. It is already there actually. Now Docker container ls, now ls hyphen a. You see, this ls will only give the running containers, but if you want to list all the containers, you need to use hyphen a. Let me delete this container Tom with the name Tom. It is already created, that's why it is not able to create one more time. Okay, Docker rm and the container name actually. Now let me clear the screen. Now let me run the same command one more time. Docker run hyphen hyphen name is equal to Tom hyphen D hyphen P 9091 colon 8080 Tomcat. Let me run this. Now it is executed as a container because on the port number 9091 of the Docker host, there is no processes that are running actually. That is why it is been port forwarded on that particular port. Now, if you see Docker container ls, if you see that, you can see it is port forwarded to 9091. Okay, if you want to run another container of the same port, you cannot able to run because it's already used on the Docker host. Okay, that's the reason. Now, if you go to the browser, if you go here localhost 9091, you will be able to access the Tomcat application because this is a Tomcat. It's a default page of Tomcat. What is the default page of Nginx? This is a default page of Nginx, and this is a default page of Tomcat. Okay, that's how you need to access the application from the Tomcat or from the Nginx actually. So that's how you need to do. Okay, now how to check the logs. I already told you how to check the logs. Now Docker logs container ID. Okay, how to check the logs? Docker logs and the container ID. You will be able to get the logs of that particular application. Okay, I hope you people know what are logs, right? So let me clear the screen. Okay, Docker container ls. Okay, these are the things of the particular container. I already explained what is this name, port mappings and port forwardings. I mean to say port mappings or port forwardings, anything is same. This is status and created time, and what's the command we are going to see at the creation of custom Docker images. What is this? And the image and the container ID. So something like that. Now this is the second use case what we are going to see actually. Now if you want to run, see this, see you can see Tomcat Nginx image. Two containers are using Nginx image and one container is using Tomcat image. If you want to delete the Tomcat image, Docker images. Okay, Docker images, Tomcat image is being downloaded and it is used by the particular container. If the image is used by any particular container, if you try to download the image, it will give an error. You cannot able to download a particular image which is already used by the Docker container. So if you Docker RMI and the image name Tomcat, you are going to get an error config unable to remove reference Tomcat container. This container is using its referenced image, that is this Tomcat is used by this image, this container. Tomcat image is used by this container. That is why you are unable to remove this image at all from your Docker host actually. So that's the thing. How to remove the particular image from the Docker host? If you see here, MySQL is not used by any of the container. Okay, let me try to see if any container is using MySQL. Okay, this is the Ubuntu, Nginx, and Tomcat. You can see MySQL image is not used by any of the container. Now, if you want to remove the MySQL image, Docker RMI represent the remove image. Okay, Docker RMI represents the remove image. Now give the image name MySQL, right? MySQL is the image name that I want to remove. Now your image gets deleted. These are all the layers that gets deleted. What are layers? We'll see, but yeah, these are all the things that get deleted, and the MySQL image also gets deleted. Now if you see Docker images, you see the MySQL image is not present. It got deleted. If you want to remove the image of like which is used by any particular container, you need to first delete the container and then you need to remove the image then after that actually. So that's how you need to do that actually. Now I want to use Jenkins image. Jenkins is a Docker image. It's a I hope you people know what is Jenkins. So Jenkins is a CI/CD tool that performs our automation. So let's run Jenkins as a container. Okay, let me run this Jenkins as a container. Jenkins will be running on port number 8080. Let me run this Docker run hyphen name is equal to CICD and hyphen D hyphen P. I want to port forward to particular port 8888 and I want to port forward to 8080 because this is a port of the Jenkins on which application is running. Okay, that's the port. Now Jenkins slash Jenkins. Okay, this is an image name that is there. Okay, Jenkins slash Jenkins actually. Now this is the one I am running. Just click on enter. Now Docker container ls. If you see Jenkins is in running state, where is that? Yeah, this is the Jenkins is in running state and you can access the Jenkins on port number 8888. Now let's go to the browser. Let's access Jenkins. Okay, localhost colon 8888 actually. Now this is the Jenkins screen that you are seeing here. Now if you go to your local machine, you need to enter a password first. Administrator password need to be entered here. Now how to get the administrator password of the Jenkins is just copy this container ID of the Jenkins. Now how to do Docker logs and the container ID of the Jenkins. You will be seeing the password here. This is a password in order to access the Jenkins. Let me go here. Let me put the password here and let me click on continue. Now this will be continued further. Now it will ask for the installation of the plugins actually. Now install suggested plugins. No, it will automatically install suggested plugins actually. Now that's a thing actually. Now this will continuously install the plugins. It will take time. Yeah, let's move further. Okay, now that's the thing. Let me clear the screen. Now Docker images. Now these are the some images that are present. These are the 5 images that are present in my local machine. These are 5 Docker images that are present, but in the real time there are many images. There are hundreds of images present on my Docker host. See, you can also verify how much size each image is taking. 497 MB, 491 MB, 449 MB, 69.29 MB, 192 MB. There are huge spaces the Docker images will be taking actually from our local machine. To remove all the images at once which are not used by the Docker containers, what is a command that we have? Docker system prune -a. You can see here Jenkins, Tomcat, and the Ubuntu Nginx. Okay, Ubuntu is used by stopped containers. Okay, Tomcat is used by the running container. Jenkins is used by the running container. If you see before executing this command, Docker container ls-a, you can see Jenkins image is used, Tomcat image is used, Nginx image is used, Ubuntu image is used. In Ubuntu image is used by the just verify Ubuntu image is used by the exited containers. That means it will also be getting removed actually. Now if you want to remove Docker system prune -a, it will remove all the images which are ideal. Okay, let me use this. It will ask for a confirmation. It will also show the warning like this will be removed. So what are all the things that will be removed? All stopped containers will be removed. All networks not used by at least one container will be removed. What is this? We'll see. But as of now, you need to understand all the stop containers, all the build cache, all the images will be removed. Now click on Y and click on enter. Okay, now all the things got removed. You can see here your Neo4j got removed, Ubuntu got removed. Yeah, and the things got removed. If you see Docker images, if you see only the 3 images which are used by the containers are there actually. Docker container ls, these are these are the 4 containers that are using these images. Okay, that is why these 3 images were there. All the remaining images, that is neo4j and the ubuntu, got deleted with one command. If you want to delete each one, that is a huge task if you have multiple images in your docker host. So that's why you need to use this command, docker system prune -a, that deletes all the images at once which are not used by at least one container actually. So that's the thing. Any questions anyone has, please? Anyone have any questions?
How to stop a container?
Yeah, how to stop a container? Suppose this is a container id. We also have a command, docker stop and the container id. Okay, this is a container id that will get stopped, and you can see docker container ls, and that got stopped. How to check the stopped containers? ls-a, and you can see that is in exited state. That means a stopped state actually. That's the thing.
So we can use either the name or the ID
Yes,
alternative.
you can use either the name or the id, because name and ids are the unique thing. Okay, you cannot have 2 containers with the same name. You cannot have 2 containers with the same id. You can use any of the thing.
And are we aware how much resources is being used for each of these?
No, in the docker you cannot able to see, but in the kubernetes you are going to see. Actually, we are going to install metric server, and we are going to see the how much amount of resources like cpu and memory which is consumed by the pods, and the applications were consumed actually, that we can see in the kubernetes. But in docker, if you want to see, you need to integrate this docker with third party applications, like which is a third party which is not related to docker. And yeah, that's how we need to.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyone have any questions?
Shiva, this is Raj.
Okay. Hi, Raj.
Yeah, this is my first lecture. Actually, I didn't found the link. I was paying you, but you're not. You are busy. Please share link so I can go through it, and I will because I'm not getting anything. What you just right?
Yeah, sure. Let me go to the. Let me stop sharing my screen and go to the YouTube and share the link. 1 second. 1 second.
Your boss will hate you for
1 second. Where is this? Yeah, this is the one. Let me copy this. Let me reshare. Now let me put it in chat. 1 second. Yeah, this is a YouTube playlist that you can find there, and you can see all the 3 demos, and this is a 4th demo that is being happened actually. So that's the thing. Okay, now anyone have any questions? Any other questions you have? Okay, if no questions, now let's go further. Actually, now we have created all the plugins got installed into the into the Jenkins container. Now you can give the name, and let me give the password, and let me give the confirm password, and let me give password like full name, and let me give test@gmail.com. Okay, that's just save and continue, and just save and finish, and Jenkins is ready to start. Yeah, you have logged into the Jenkins machine, Jenkins container, I mean to say. Now you can also create any freestyle project and pipeline project, any projects you can create. So something
Shiva, I have one question regarding to this DevOps. These are all DevOps tools regarding for that first.
yeah, these are the DevOps tools.
And one thing, do we have any certification for this DevOps tool, or this is all open sources or some body?
No, these are open sources. Whatever the things, Docker, Kubernetes, and Jenkins for open sources. For Kubernetes and Docker, you can do certifications. Actually, Kubernetes, we have certifications called CKAD and CKA. Okay, CKAD represents Certified Kubernetes Developer Associate, and CKA represents the Certified Kubernetes Administrator. So we can have, not only these two, Kubernetes have certifications, multiple certifications. Kubernetes security, we have. You can check that Kubernetes documentation. We have multiple certifications with Kubernetes. So in Docker also, Docker Associate is there, something like that. So we have certifications in the Kubernetes and Docker.
Okay.
Okay.
So in this curriculum, we will cover some project or something else, or what we will do?
Yes, we will be covering the projects as I already mentioned this. So what project we are going to cover in the demo videos. You can see the first demo. What are the projects that we are going to cover in this? We have already seen that. Okay, the
Okay.
5 different projects that we are going to cover.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Now that's a Jenkins pipe like freestyle project that we just for introduction. So that's a thing actually. Now let me close this, or let me leave it as it is. Now what is the another command that we have? Another commands is docker container ls-a. Now this is the container that has been stopped. Okay, right? Now how to start this? Docker start and a RT and the container ID you need to give, that will be started again. Now you can also restart the container. Suppose this is a container ID, docker restart. Okay, container ID you need to, you can, okay, docker, right? So okay, you can also restart the container like this. Okay, docker container ls actually. So there are multiple containers running as of now. There are multiple containers running as of now, but like that in real time there are many such containers people will be using, right? So deleting each and every container, how to delete any particular container, I have not told you how to delete a particular container. Let me delete a container. See, this is the running container. You can see it's in running state. That means up state. You cannot delete the running container. You can see docker rm and the container ID. That will give you an error saying that stop a container before attempting to remove or force to remove. You cannot directly remove a running container. Either you need to stop the container, and either you need to use force to stop the container, or to remove the container. I mean to say, how to use force is docker rm. First let me give the stop one. Stop, docker stop the container ID you need to use, and this is a container ID. Now we have stopped this container. Now you can remove the docker rm and the container ID. Now let me restart. Now you can see docker container ls, and these are containers. Okay, no, ls-a, these are the different containers that we have. How to remove? First you need to stop the container, and you need to remove the container. Yeah, let me rerun the container one more time. Docker rm. Did you ask, anyone ask any question, please? Anyone asked any question? Because some disturbance has came. Yeah, this is the let me use the nginx, and I don't want to use the port forwarding here, and the detached mode, let me put it here, and let me use nginx one. Actually, let me use nginx one. Let me use this. Okay, Let me run this as a container. Okay, now this is the running container, Docker container ls. You can see this is the running container. Where is that Nginx one? This is a running container. How to remove a running container? Previously we have removed a stopped container, because first unit we have stopped that container. Where is that? We have stopped that container. Where is that? Where is that? Yeah, we have first stopped the container and we have tried to remove that container. If you want to directly remove the container, we are going to get an error. If you want to remove directly a running container, now that's the error we got. Now how to remove a running container? You need to use --. First way is first way is to stop and then remove, and this is the one, Docker stop and the container ID, and the Docker RM and the container ID. So the second way how to remove the container is Docker RM-F you need to use, and the container ID. This is a container ID that you can use. You can directly remove the running containers using force. -F represents force. Actually, -F represents force. Okay, you can directly remove the running container, something like this. Docker container ls, you can see it got deleted. Now only 3 different containers are running actually. Now see, there are different containers like this. So like this, there are multiple containers will be there. There are hundreds of containers. So in order to delete all the containers one by one, it's a huge problem for us, right? So into execute 100 different commands, right? So in order not to do that, in order to do, we have another command, Docker RM-F, because because all these containers are in running state. Okay, now -F $, okay, let me this, okay, Docker ts-aq. Okay, this is a command that you need to use in order to remove all the running containers at once actually. So that's a command. Let me use that. You can see all the containers got removed at once. Okay, all the containers got removed at once. Now you can see Docker container, okay, container ls. Okay, you can execute this one. No container has been running and no container will be in stopped state. You can see all the containers are there, but all the containers are not there, sorry, but the images will be there. Docker images. Okay, once again, images, right? Yeah, images will be there. These are the Docker images that are present, and I want to, you can now remove all these images because the containers are deleted. Nginx, like Jenkins got deleted, Tomcat got deleted, and Nginx got deleted. But here, if you refresh, the access will be gone because those containers will be got deleted. You cannot able to access that applications now. All these things got deleted. So that's how you need to use. And let me go here, and what you can do is you can now remove the images. Previously these images are used by the containers, that is why you are unable to delete these images. Now you can delete the images. Actually, you can see now how much amount of memory it is taking from my machine. It is taking more than 1 GB of memory. Now Docker, how to remove all the images? Docker system, okay, system system -a. This is a command in order to remove all the images at once. Okay, it got deleted. You can see 1.132 GB of data got removed from my machine because all this data, all this space was used by Docker, right? So that's how you need to remove the things actually. Clear your workspace. So let me clear that. Okay, now let me run one more time, one more command. Docker run -- name is equal to Nginx. Nginx and -d Nginx. Okay, let me run the container. It is, see, again it is downloading. It did not find any image locally because we have deleted all the images from a local machine. It is unable to find. It is downloading the image from the hub.docker.com. Okay, it is downloading the image now. Now once it is downloaded image, it is getting executed as a container. Docker container ls. You can see it is getting executed as a container now. Actually, now you can also log into this container. How to enter into the container? You see, I am inside the Docker host. You can see I am inside the Docker host now. I am inside the Docker host now. How you can also log into the container. You can also go inside the container. How to go inside the container? Docker exec-it and the container ID. Okay, container ID /bin/sh. Okay, now you can see I am inside the container. I am inside the container. You can execute the Linux commands ls-la. So something like that. I am inside the container actually. Now how to go inside the container? Using docker exec command. Docker exec -it represents interactive terminal. Okay, -it represents interactive terminal. I want to open the interactive terminal of the docker container. That's the meaning of this. This is a docker container id. So that's a container id, and this is a /bin/sh is the shell actually. So in Linux there are different types of shells. Okay, right? Bash, like sh shell, okay, bronze shell, something like that. Okay, I am using sh shell in order to log in into the container. So where it present? Inside the bin folder it present. This is inside the container. Where is there the bin? Bin is here. You can see it is, it's a link file and it is mapped to user bin. Inside the user bin we have sh terminal, sh shell actually. That is why I'm using bin/bin/sh actually. So that's how that works. This is the explanation of this command or what we are going to use. Exec means execute. Okay, that's a thing actually. Now docker is a utility. Okay, this is the how you need to enter into the docker container. Now click on exit. Now you can see docker container ls. You can see docker container is in running state actually. No, that's a docker. How to you can enter into the login into the docker container. Now let's go to another thing called until what time a particular container is running. Okay, until what time a particular container will be running state. Suppose this is the container, this is a container. So each and every docker container contains a process that will be running inside it actually. So whether it is a application, whether it is a Nginx or a Tomcat, whether it's Spring Boot or .NET or Python application. So each and every container inside the each and every container will be having a particular process which is running inside the container, something like this. Until and unless the process inside the container is in running state, the container will be in up state or running state. Once the process inside the container went to stopped state, something like this, the container will also go to stopped or exited state actually. So until the process which is running inside the container is in running state, then the container will be in running state. And until once the process inside the container is in stopped state, then that means your container has a problem. Your application which is running inside the container is having a problem. That means that go to exited state actually. So that's how you need to understand. So that's the thing. So in why I have explained this is, in some of the docker images we have, some of the docker images we have inside the, we have from the Docker Hub, like Ubuntu. Okay, we have CentOS image. So such kind of images will not be running any kind of processes in it, any kind of processes or any kind of applications in it. It's just an operating system image. It does not contain any it does not contain any applications or any processes that are running inside those images. Okay, that are there in these images. Now if that does not contain any process or any applications inside that image, when you use that image, docker run --name is equal to my machine. Okay, my machine -d. I want to use Ubuntu as a image. Okay, Ubuntu as a image. That immediately go to exited state actually. Let me enter. Okay, it is downloading the image from the hub.docker.com. So let it download the image. Yeah, now if it got downloaded the image, you can see docker container ls. You can see only the Nginx container is running, but not the Ubuntu container that we just executed now, because the Ubuntu image does not have any process that is running inside the container. That is why Ubuntu image goes to exited state. How to see the exited containers or stopped containers? You can use -a container docker container ls. -a is a command that you can see it here. Ubuntu went to exited state actually. Ubuntu went to exited, because what is the reason why it is going to exited state? Because there is no process, there is no application or nothing running inside the Ubuntu machine. That is why it went to exited state actually. So that's the reason. Now while running this Ubuntu machine, let me delete this Ubuntu container now. Let me delete this Ubuntu container, docker rm and the container ID. As this is in the stopped state or exited state, I can directly remove the container using rm command. I don't want to use -f to remove the container. So just click on enter. That will directly remove the container. Now, if you check the now docker container ls-a, so there will not be any Ubuntu machine that is Ubuntu container that is running actually. Now, while running the Ubuntu container itself, I will be mentioning I want to open the interactive terminal mode in the Ubuntu container later point of time. I want to run a particular process inside the container using -it. While running itself, I am mentioning that I want to run in the future. I want to open the interactive terminal of the container. You don't go to exited state. That is the meaning of that actually. So just click on enter. Now, if you see docker container ls, so you can see that Ubuntu container will be in running state. Okay, Ubuntu container will be in running state. How to log in into the Ubuntu container? Now copy this container ID, docker exec-it container ID /bin/sh is the command. Now I am inside the Ubuntu container now because I have used Ubuntu container ID. This is a container ID I have used. That is why you will go to inside the Ubuntu container. Now you can do whatever you want here. You can do whatever you want. Okay, now let me do apt-get update. Okay, updating the packages in the Ubuntu. This is a command update-y. Okay, confirming that one. So that's a Ubuntu command that is to use it to update the packages. Okay, so let it update the packages. I am updating inside the container. Please observe, I am inside the container. Okay, I am inside the container because these are the Ubuntu commands which will work in the Ubuntu only. So that's one. Now, if just click on git, okay, enter git. That means git is not found. That means git means it's a version control system. It is not found. It is not installed in this Ubuntu container. But I want to install git. Now, how to install a git? apt-get install -y git. Okay, you can like this, you can install any softwares until and unless that supports the container supports that. Okay, so I'm installing git inside the container. So now you can see git has been installed and you got done. Okay, now previously when you execute the git command, what you got, it's command not found, git not found. Okay, now if you use git, okay, you are going to get a help actually now, because these are the different options that is used to perform git operations actually. So like that we can do anything that we want inside the Ubuntu container actually. Let me clear the screen. So that's how that works. That's a Ubuntu container, how we enter into Ubuntu container, until what time the any container, what not only Ubuntu container, any container, until what time the container will be in running state, until and unless there is some particular process, so there is some particular application that is running inside the container will be in running state actually. So that's the thing actually. So what we have seen today is we have seen different commands that is used in the Docker, and some of the use cases like -p port forwarding with the Nginx and Tomcat, and we have seen the Jenkins, how to run Jenkins as a container, and we have used Ubuntu, and we have installed git in it, and we have seen the different commands, all the like how to remove all the images at once, and why the images will not be removed because of the images used by the running containers, and how to remove all the how to remove the running containers, and how to remove all the running containers, how to stop, how to restart, how to start, and something like that. We have all seen all these things today, and yeah, tomorrow what we are going to see is like we are going to I am going to give some of the exercises, and I am going to give you the questions. I want to explain you the questions, okay, for your practice. Okay, if you are interested, please do that, and we'll discuss what are the exercises that I want to give, and I'll upload you to the I'll upload that exercise to the drive so that you can also practice and you can get the knowledge. Okay, something like that. Okay, and in the next classes we are going to discuss the solutions for that exercises, how to solve that problems, and what are the solutions that we have for that one. So we'll go further further to the next classes, like how to establish a communication between the two different containers using hyphen link option. Docker compose is an important thing that we are going to see, and we are going to move further like that. Okay, and if you have any questions, let's go to the open for the questions. You can ask for the questions. Actually, any questions anyone has, please.
Yes, Shiva, I'm Suresh.
Okay, hi Suresh.
You have been taught all the Docker commands, right, related to containers and all images. Do you provide documents for these?
Yes, I will be providing the documents in your drive. When you get an access to the drive, I will be providing there.
Okay. When we will get the recording sessions? For example, if I join this session, if I missed one day, so it will be lengthy syllabus I was missing. It feels so. What could be the scenario in that? I'll get the recording on the day itself or after some days.
Yes. See, you will be getting the recording on the same day itself, before 4 p.m.
Before 4 p.m. Okay. So that have validity up to 6 months, right?
Yes, 6 months. Entire drive validity will up to 6 months. Yes.
Okay. What will be the course duration?
Duration will be 45 days, and it will be extendable.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to be clear with this. Course duration will be 45 days, and it will be also be extendable. You should not ask me why you are extending after that. Okay, so that one.
Okay. The same speed continues even after the payment, or it may get slow.
No, the same thing will be continued, or see, it entirely depends on the questions you ask. If you are asking more questions on a particular concept, so I need to explain it in a little bit slow manner. So that entirely depends on the understanding, your understanding. Actually, you are asking your way of asking questions. So regularly I will go with this speed and something like that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, we have
Thanks.
not received the YouTube links or even to our drive the previous sessions.
Yeah, once the demos got completed, right, you will be receiving demos is going to complete today, and once that completed, you will be getting the email from the DURGASOFT only about the drive access and the things.
Yeah, previous days can be shared, right? Because it's difficult for us to catch up in the next class. We need revision.
Yeah, as of now the things were uploaded to the YouTube. All the three different classes we have gone through, that you can verify there if you like if take access. But once the demos got completed, immediately you are going to get the drive access. No problem with that. You are going to get all the videos will also be, like, all the recordings will be also be uploaded there, like demos also will be uploaded there actually. Okay.
What's the YouTube link, sir? Do you have
Link,
handy?
let me stop sharing and share one more time. I hope I have shared only one people. Sorry for that. Yeah, 1 second. Let me share one more time. Cube. Is that this one? Yeah.
The mechanism that is there.
Let's see. And is this the 9:30? Yeah. Now let me go here. Yeah, let me put for everyone in meeting. And this is the link. Yeah, this is the link in the YouTube that we have, the playlist link. Already three session recordings got uploaded, and today's will be uploaded today. Okay. So and one more thing, today our demos are going to be closed, and the link is going to be changed. And yeah, please go ahead and register for the course if you are interested, and if you have any questions, please ask.
Shiva, we are feeling like it's extend the speed, the sessions are. We'll be happy if you can reduce some speed.
Sure. If see, entirely depends on your requirement, how you understand. So if you want me to reduce the speed, I will reduce the speed. Okay, because it entirely your satisfaction should be there. Okay, that's the thing. That's entirely the requirement from you people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So will we be getting into the stage of Helm charts and things like that?
Yes, Helm charts is also covered, and Argo series covered, and yeah, KNS dashboard, KATS dashboard. Yeah, things are there. Such kind of
Okay.
thing. Yeah.
Do we have sessions in weekends as well, like in Saturday, Sundays?
Mostly not. If the time is there, if you are people interested, I can also take Saturdays and Sundays.
Okay.
And if someone is unable to attend on Saturdays and Sundays, those recordings will be uploaded into Drive, and you can also refer them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Shiva. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, anyone have any questions, please? Today is our last demo class, and from tomorrow you are going to get a new link, and go ahead and register for the course. That's my responsibility to tell that, and that's the thing. If any questions, ask, or if not, let's meet tomorrow.
So tomorrow or is Monday? Is it Monday?
No, tomorrow is Friday, right? So we are going
Oh,
to.
sorry, tomorrow is Friday. Okay. All right.
So
Yeah.
timings, will it be same or any other timings is also?
It's same actually. We are not going to change your timings 9:30. So a new batch is going to start at 10:30. That is shifted to this 9:30 in the latter point of time.
When it will be started 10:30 batch?
It will be starting from, I think, coming Tuesday.
Oh, from Tuesday, these sessions will start from 10:30, huh?
No. Your class will be at 9:30 only. Okay. You will not change the time. Okay. A new batch, I mean to say.
Oh, okay. So are we going to merge into any batch or any
No,
other batches
the
merge?
10:30 match, the 10:30 batch we are going to see is going to merge to this batch only in the previous time.
Okay.
9:30. Your timings will not be changed. Okay. Your timings will not be changed. The 10:30 people who are joining there, those timings will be changed to the 9:30.
Okay.
Only these two are the timings available, sir.
No, there is another class going on at 8 a.m. morning. It's already it's too late there because it's completed actually. It's that means we are at the Kubernetes deployments strategy
Okay.
section.
And sir, I prefer 10:31. So can I continue on that batch itself?
No. If you prefer 10:30 also, for only 4 to 5 days, 10:30 will be batching continue at 10:30. But after 4 to 5 days, that will be shifted to 9:30 only. Did you understand?
Yeah, got it.
Yeah. Because we want to merge two different classes. Okay, that's why we planned at 10:30 one more batch who are same thing. I'll be telling there. Okay, I'll telling there your classes timings is going to change to the 9:30 in the latter point of time.
Okay. Which tool you are going to cover after Docker? Sure.
After Docker, we are going to quickly towards the Kubernetes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So because we cannot go directly to Jenkins, because Jenkins is an automated way of Docker and Kubernetes. You cannot switch directly to Jenkins. We can switch, but we cannot do much things there. Okay, but that is why I prefer going to Kubernetes and then Jenkins.
Sir, will you teach pipeline script in Jenkins? That as well.
Will you be teaching pipeline? What is that?
Pipelining script we write, right?
Yes. I will be teaching the declarative pipeline script. Okay, not the scripted pipeline. Okay, declarative pipeline. I'll teaching how to write a declarative pipeline and related things, how to use shared libraries, and how to configure Blue Ocean, how to use credentials in the pipeline script, how to configure environmental variables in the pipeline scripts. So all these things will be teached. It's out of the box syllabus. Okay, nowhere you are going to get such kind of syllabus because we are covering many things. Okay. Please do not worry. As I said, we are covering many things. We will be covering in a clear manner and the diagrammatic manner. So the concepts will be clear actually. So that's the thing.
We
Okay.
have to be regular.
Yeah,
So
you
if
people
not,
have to be regular so
we'll
that
be not off track.
yes, you should be in track actually. If you are unable to attend class, you should be at least go and see the recordings. Okay, so that's
Okay. Thanks.
yeah.
Shiva.
Thank you. Thanks everyone. Thanks for joining session. Tomorrow is going to be change the link actually, so please go ahead and register. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Thanks. We'll meet tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.